For some of you, absolutely right off the bat here, it's going to have to do with outside influences. Now, on the other hand, with the Three of Cups being the overall, we are talking about support, celebration, a reason to celebrate here. But, looking at the way that this starts, for a lot of you, it does look like the third party situation is going to have to do with the other person, that or you may feel like you are the third party. So coming in with the Knight of Cups, for you, this is kind of going with what you feel like when it comes to an offer being made to you, or that or this is what they're bringing to you here. But with the Hangman, though, it's not really moving forward. Them, though, looking at justice. This is really about, making things right. I think that they're trying to make things right with you. And I think that for you, you're willing to kind of like go along with this, looking at the Knight of Cups. But absolutely, right? Like an outside influence and things needing to be corrected, but it's still being an issue moving out of this. But with the Eight of Pentacles, this is really about, there is going to have to be a lot of hard work put into this on their side. But for you, you can't really do anything. There's nothing that you can do about it. So I kind of look at this as they're going to have to work on something that is going to have to do with another person, making things right, specifically involving you, but there's nothing that you can do, right? And you're just kind of like waiting. You're waiting for them to get to work here and get those things corrected. There's still like a lot of an emotional connection on your side, though, looking at the Knight of Cups, because I kind of see that as you, not necessarily you making the offer, but wanting that, like wanting to have that, and I don't doubt that the other person wants it too. The problem is the other person. One of the things that I say is when the Three of Cups shows up, when we're talking about situations where there is a third party, the fact that it's not a court card means that the other person is not that significant. So if you are dealing with somebody who has another situation with another person, that person is not that important to them. Now, moving out of that with the Ten of Pentacles, you are starting to feel a little bit more secure, I think. The problem is with the Moon, though, underneath that. With the Ten of Pentacles, we're talking about long-term, wanting to have the long-term relationship forever and ever here. Like, let's get old and change each other's diapers type of, long-term. That's how I look at the Ten of Pentacles. With the King of Swords, though, if this is about the other person, it's them trying to communicate to you honestly and directly about what they are dealing with. And absolutely, this could have to do with divorce or separation on their part. The problem is that they're still trying to figure things out coming out in the end here. But what I worry about is, are you losing a sense of security with this person? That should have been like a long-term situation, but unfortunately they're still dealing with, like I said, the outside influences, the Moon. For you, I don't think that you want to, deal with the reality of the situation. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I think that for you, you're just wanting to look at, what, it's almost like a Seven of Cups type of feel. But the thing is that there isn't a whole lot of clarity in what's going on with the other person and what they're dealing with and what they need to work on. But there's nothing you can do. Like, I look at the Hangman and think there is nothing you can do about this. They need to handle it. They need to deal with it. Now, on the other hand here, like I said, with the Three of Cups, doesn't necessarily have to do with that. It could definitely be about, support that you're getting, having to deal with this relationship, and for some of you, I don't necessarily feel like we're talking about you and another person getting divorced or separated. I am not seeing it that way. And I just want to make that clear because they're the ones that are showing justice. Now, going back to the Moon here, this is still like not knowing, not understanding, not having a lot of clarity. But like I said, I also think that it's you not really, looking at the reality of the situation. And that reality would be the Page of Pentacles. But, looking at it with the Two of Pentacles, there is still this want to, kind of keep things going with you. Now, unfortunately, though, for some of you, yeah, you could be dealing with somebody who is still trying to figure out another situation on top of you. But with the Page of Pentacles, like I said, the reality there is that there's going to have to be a lot of hard work put into getting this relationship going. And you are not seeing things realistically or practically, but that is directly involving your inability to do anything about what this person is dealing with or what they need to figure out or work on. And for you, though, if you, whether you're male or female here, if they are looking at you as the King of Swords now, this is definitely them seeing you being very straightforward about the fact that you're wanting long-term security and stability. But I really see this as somebody who is trying to explain to you what they are dealing with, what they need to work on, and being very truthful about the fact that there may be a situation that they need to keep kind of dealing with here before things can move forward with you. And then the Ace of Pentacles. So there's still very much this want on this person's side to have something realistic with you. And there is, the new beginning that's there, but in the meantime, they're still having to deal with another situation. You, though, may perceive it as that is the end because of the Nine of Pentacles being on their side. But this could just be about, needing to figure out a money situation with a separation or divorce, which is possible here. But again, the Emperor. This with the moon, anything that you're seeing clarifying the moon is not going to be, very realistic. But looking at the Page of Cups coming out, though, I think that for you, that's okay. The reason why you're not wanting to see the reality of the situation is because you know that there is still a new beginning and there's still very much these emotions that are tied to this. I don't look at this as you being in control. There's nothing you can do about this. And you may be looking at the situation going, do they have control? Are they able to take care of this situation? What is going on? You don't really know. But with the Eight of Swords, they're stuck. They're forced to continue to try to keep another situation in balance with the Nine of Pentacles and then the Ten of Swords. They are doing this independently, absolutely. And at the same time, you not being able to do anything about this could make you feel like, this situation is over with. But that's not really what you want to have happen. But that's also not realistic with the moon. But I also see that, there's this new beginning, this realistic beginning here. And I think that this is something that you have been planning with this person, because you're discussing it here. You're discussing the long term here. The problem is that it's not happening now. But like I said, I don't doubt that on your side, there is still a lot of emotions tied to this person. But I still see them trying to work out having that, realistic beginning with you. And, there being a lot of kind of hard work that needs to be put in here to get this off the ground. And they understand that. For you, because you don't really have anything to do with this situation, it's hard for you to understand. But I don't think that this situation is over with by any means. Just because they're showing like a level of independence from you because they're dealing with this doesn't mean that they want this to be over with. That's what I want to say. Because of the way that this is coming out, I think that for a lot of you looking at new love, it's almost like you're seeing them as a new person. The problem is that there's so much difficulty with the past that, when I look at the Nine of Swords, it's difficult. This is hard. It's hard to do. The King of Pentacles kicking this off, whether you're male or female, whether you're dealing with a male or female or earth sign, you're talking about somebody who's being a little bit pushy. And you may have been this way and it caused a painful ending, or the other person was acting this way and it caused a very difficult ending. But this is definitely kind of coming back around here, but they're acting like a new person completely. And I think that that's kind of like the reminder here, because the Nine of Swords I can't get past. That is definitely talking about two people getting back together after something really difficult, and you already have that here. Strength. Needing to find the strength here to open up, because somebody is definitely wanting to have this emotional connection, this encounter here with the Knight of Cups. And they're definitely coming toward you or you them. But the strength to accept this or to get involved again. Now, with the Eight of Wands, it's like, this is kind of like savoring the moment here. But it's also, traditionally I look at the Eight of Wands and think quickly, things happening quickly and needing to kind of slow down and, enjoy the moment that you have together. But I always look at that ladder and think, quick movement forward, right? Wanting to get things going. But with the Nine of Swords, like I said, that's difficult. It's difficult. It's like, if we get back together, there are still going to be some thoughts about, the pain from the past. And it's not that easy. But instead of thinking about all that, I look at the Eight of Wands and think, you need to just kind of like enjoy that while it's here. Oof, oof. Okay, and then the Tower. Yeah, and if you're talking about thoughts, not only that though, but damn man, if you, and this could be you or the other person here, but with the Tower, if you're getting involved, somebody is involved somewhere else. And that could be an issue though, looking at the Nine of Swords. Somebody that needs to kind of either get over jealousy or get out of another situation. But first of all, the Six of Pentacles, and looking at the Ten of Swords, the reason why there was a painful ending in the past is because somebody felt like they weren't getting the attention that they wanted. And, somebody may have been like a little bit too like pushy and not like caring enough, not romantic enough almost. It's a lack of emotions, I think. That's the problem here. And that's not, what you're getting. But then also we could be talking about the reason why the situation is over with is because this person was giving their attention to somebody else. Because I'm seeing that couple sticking out in the window here, and they're not really paying attention to you at all. But it's coming back around though. And with the Ace of Cups, absolutely, it is about a new beginning, a new start here. And it's like they're coming toward you, you're coming toward them with this. But somebody is needing to find the strength to either, do this or accept it, or finding the strength to want to go through this new beginning here. But that's going to have to do with, the Tower. I almost feel like some of you didn't really think about this moving forward, especially if the person is still involved with someone else. That or this is you, but I think that some of you may be dealing with a person who's still involved and they didn't really take care of that situation. But there's a part that like doesn't matter though, looking at the Eight of Wands. But it may be hard for you to enjoy time together though, looking at the Nine of Swords, if there is another situation involved. But it's like it's being renewed for you, I think. And I think that they're a completely different person than what they were before. But there's still that issue moving out of this. And then the Six of Swords, it's not bad. So make the effort. This is about you needing to make the effort here because this is a really good relationship. So with the Three of Pentacles, you're talking about, a situation where there needs to be more warmth, more understanding. But with the Sun, again, it's a beautiful relationship. The sun is shining on it. It's perfect. Warm and loving, right? But I look at this as we're needing to work on that. Needing more understanding, more romance, more than just the physical connection. There needs to be more. When you look at the Page of Wands, this is about looking beyond appearances, right? But I look at this though as like youthful, like, those things don't matter anymore. But with the Ten of Wands, this is like relieving the pressure, relieving a burden by kind of like lightening up on the situation. So for you, you may be, looking at this situation going, yeah, this is a really great relationship, but I need more from you. But if you kind of like let that go and release that kind of like pressure or burden, things lighten up. And somebody is doing what is necessary to kind of like bridge the distance between the two of you here with the Six of Swords. The Magician making something happen in a relationship. And here, making the effort to, make the connection with you. Right? But then this is also about you needing to put forth the effort as well. but it doesn't look bad. But this I kind of worry about a little bit, because it's almost like it's still weighing on you, but there's something about this that you're still willing to kind of like give in to. But I still see this as something, happening here to kind of like fix that issue and what you feel like you're needing more of. And then justice, yeah. Yeah. I mean, all that stuff is going to be corrected in the end. The Five of Wands, though, the hell. This is about somebody who is peeking in on another relationship. And I wonder, and you can flip this. This is either going to be about you or the person that you are with. But if there is not enough, it may be that somebody here in this situation is looking in on somebody from the past, watching a relationship that they're in, and not really being, as focused on the relationship that they're currently in. That, or this is an outside influence that is kind of like affecting the relationship here. And what I worry about is if, somebody is kind of like living out the fantasy here with the moon. But I look at that and I think that it's not actually happening, though. Like, I don't think that it's actually happening. I think that, for a lot of you, there's another influence here somewhere. But it's not enough to cause serious problems. Now, if that was the case in the past, I look at the moon and think that, there's still the issue of the kind of like fantasies of like hooking up with somebody because there are issues with a current relationship. But with justice coming out in the Six of Swords, like I said, it's like having all of this stuff corrected. Somebody is making the effort to fix all of this. But I don't see this as real. I don't see this as real. And it's like, it's possible though, because that Ten of Wands is what gets me. Because it's not really about an emotional connection. It's not really about, having things go any further. It's a hookup and it's done. Right? And that's what it is. That's it. But with the Page of Wands though, right? It's like, despite the fact that that may have been the case, there's still a lot between you and this person. But it's really about making the effort to kind of get over that. But things have to be corrected first before that distance can be bridged between the two of you. If there was another influence, right? But somebody is trying to make that happen with the Magician.